Hey, fellow garage golfers, rolling here with Garage Golf, where we provide extraordinary golf info for the extraordinary golfer. Have a really cool interview lined up for you guys today with a company that has been doing some really awesome things, and that's Unicore Golf. And I know I get a lot of questions daily, weekly, monthly on Unicore, their products, and what my experiences are with them. I own both the QED and the IXO here in our Garage Golf Simulator. So I wanted to line up something with Unicore, and they've always been a really good partner of ours as well, as far as giving us access to what's coming out, giving us news and feedback, and us pretty much sharing everything that we're experiencing with you guys at home as far as questions. So we did go on to our Facebook group, and we asked for people to provide questions that they would like for us to ask the people at Unicore. So we're going to be meeting with Matt Mika today at Unicore and getting some of our questions answered from Matt, as far as some of the questions that we have here at Garage Golf and some of the questions that you guys had at home. So I'm looking forward to this interview. Let's see if we can join up with Matt now, jump right into this interview and get these questions answered. I hope it's something that you guys enjoy. All right, fellow Garage Golfers, so we're here with Matt Mika with Unicore. How are you doing today, Matt?
Good to see you rolling, and all your viewers and subscribers. Thanks for tuning in here. Hopefully I can shed a little insight into Unicore.
So, all right, so I have a couple questions that we came up with here at Garage Golf, and then we also have some that we've gotten some from some Facebook users and some of our people from our group. So I'll kind of go through our questions first. We'll knock those out, and then we'll see if there's any others that maybe will stand out to us that we can go over and cover with us. Try to keep this interview as short as possible, maybe somewhere around 30 minutes or so, if possible. But if there's anything anybody else has questions on after, we can definitely do a follow-up later if needed as well.
Yeah, definitely. We're always here to answer any questions from a tech perspective or sales perspective. So feel free to reach out.
All right, so let's start off with what's going on with you guys now at Unicore. You guys got anything new coming up in the works? Anything we can expect as far as new announcements? Let's say before next year's PGA show, anything like that?
We'll keep a few things close to the vest, but okay. We are a technology company in the golf space, so always working to improve. Always improving current software and hardware, but we understand current market needs and what needs to be done to kind of propel our business and gain more market share into 2022 and then 5 years from now. Yeah. So we will have our all-in power suite displayed at the PGA show next year. Okay. That is our turnkey solution with that's all-encompassing to get anybody up and running with the Unicore either IXO or QED. Okay. We have a couple other things, but stay close, follow our channels, and you'll see some exciting stuff coming from us for sure.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to be one of the first ones to share any news that you guys have coming out in the future. So I look forward to that. Awesome. Definitely. Good. All right. So and one of the first things that obviously I want to share is that obviously you guys just had a recent rollout of a new update for the Unicore View software, which we did a video on our channel. And man, that was super impressive. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out on our channel. But now we have multi-windows now, and this was part of one of our questions as far as on the View software, the ability to kind of manipulate the home screen, and you guys took care of that before we even got to the question. So that's really, really cool, and now you can basically have more than one screen. You got 4 at one time, right? That you can now see your ball flight, data, numbers, different things that you want to see as well.
Yeah, it just makes the user experience just much more seamless. We're trying to make it as less clunky as possible. I mean, it's a pretty intuitive system, but having everything kind of condensed, especially when you're doing any kind of teaching or self-analysis of your game, you want everything in one place so you don't have to toggle back and forth. Yeah. We have enough swing ideas on our head. We don't need to worry about the technology getting in the way. So
because I was always going back and forth to the computer, so that takes care of all that, which is awesome. You're going to be able to see everything on one screen. I did a little bit on the video, and I did one question, which this is going to put you on the spot a little bit because we didn't prep for this one, but one thing I would maybe like the ability to see later, and I don't know if it's something that they can do, would be to add your swing camera view back if you do have the swing Unicore cameras, because that's part of that whole process. So that'd be cool if you could have a window for that without having to change screens on it as well.
Yeah, definitely something we'll work on. Obviously, with dual displays, and we don't want to make it too concentrated in
Yeah.
one area, we'll
Right.
definitely have that option that maybe you can drag and drop exactly what windows you want. But that's
Yeah.
definitely something we're open
Yeah.
to work on with our development team for sure.
Yeah, I thought that'd be kind of cool. Just because you have a drop down and you have 4 options now, but I figured maybe in the future it could be expandable, as people start
Yeah.
to give feedback on it, of course. But I think that may be one thing that would be a good feature down the road. But really, really impressive update that we were really, really excited about. And so far, everyone's had good things to say about your recent rollout. So just thought I'd let you guys know.
Thanks.
All
Try
right.
to do it right.
Yeah. All right. So let's get down to one of our main questions that we get a lot, and that's QED versus IXO. And people ask us all the time, now, especially since QED does have some club data as well, who's better for what in particular? I mean, what specific features would you say IXO would give you versus QED for the price difference necessarily? And which one would you feel would be better for, obviously, like someone just coming in or wanting to start, a simulator at home? I guess it kind of depends on their needs, but what does that IXO give that the QED doesn't now at this point?
I'll take a step back and kind of put my sales hat on.
Okay.
Excuse me. Really, we have obviously the QED, which is a great value for what's offered. Then you have a little bit more premium product, the IXO.
Right.
Well, really, questions that I would ask a potential buyer or user, one is obviously budget. What do you got? What are you looking to spend, for a new system? Where are you going to put this in your house? What kind of bells and whistles are you looking to add to this? How serious of a player are you? Are you really looking to crunch the numbers from a data perspective? And what's important for you in order to get better? So those are basic questions that I'll kind of frame before we decide, what's best for each individual user, because everybody's different. Everybody has different swings, and some are more serious than others. So that's the assessment first and foremost. Now going into QED, obviously QED uses mark ball technology, ceiling mounted, the ability for righties and lefties to play seamlessly with a center strike. When you get into IXO, there's a premium for that technology, which is also ceiling mounted using non-mark ball technology. So that allows you to, if you're doing a ball fitting or a club fitting, you could change golf balls out of there seamlessly without any, hiccups and kind of placing dots on golf balls and that kind of thing. So it's definitely more robust because it uses non-mark ball technology when it comes to teaching, playing, analysis of data. There's more data around the measurement of club data. So you get things like angle of attack, face to club. Those are all measured, whereas on QED, those club parameters are calculated as a result of the ball spin data.
Right.
So for the purist, I would say IXO, there's a premium on having both your ball and club data measured independently of each other and the ability to use non-marking golf balls.
Yeah. And we've done several tests on golf balls on our channel too, so that's a nice feature for us to be able to do, because they do sell stickers and stuff on forums, and I know you guys have your own golf ball, which I think is a Bridgestone golf ball. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's more of a two-piece kind of, middle of the line range ball. It's not, it definitely is not as hard as a rock as some of the ones that come by default with the system, but we have the upgraded Bridgestones.
I know one of those first set of balls that you guys had were very low end, I think, right? The first original golf balls before you partnered with Bridgestone, so you had some issues with those, but then you got with Bridgestone and got that two-piece golf ball, and that made a big difference for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And, when we launched in 2019, one of the big things here in North America was having the ability to use different golf balls because, again, skill sets are totally different. So somebody may not be able to compress Pro V1 rather than a lower end two-piece ball.
Right.
So we're still working, and I know it'll probably come up here in conversation in this interview. We're still working to find more of a premium solution. Over the Bridgestones that we currently offer. Obviously, it gets a little cumbersome and robust to put stickers on golf balls. That is an option, but after a couple 60-degree wedges, full swings, those dots seem to wear off if you're placing them manually on a golf ball.
And one question I get a lot, and I'll kind of answer this here because I have personal experience with both of them, is the stickers on the clubs. I mean, people seem to think that you have to replace those pretty regularly. Well, I can tell you that I've had my stickers on there since I set it up, and I play maybe 2-3 rounds of golf a week, and all I have to do is come home, wipe them down, and then I'm still using the stickers, and they're still functioning just fine. So, I mean, you get a good amount of stickers when you get an IXO or even a QED, and they last a lot longer than a lot of people think. So I just thought I'd kind of share that info because a lot of people seem to think like, oh, I'm going to have to be taking it off after every round of golf, and that's not necessarily the case either. So to get that club data that we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Word to the wise: if you're playing in any kind of USGA regulated event, you might want to take those off.
Yeah.
Just so
Oh,
you
don't
get
worry, I'm not
penalized.
doing any of that with my golf game. So yeah.
Just for any viewers out there.
Yeah, no, we're talking
yeah,
weekend, country courses, maybe if that. So yeah, I think I'm okay.
if you're playing your club championship, though, they may knock you for that. So just a word to the wise.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like you said, they're pretty durable. They stay on there for a long time. I think the system comes by default with 400 stickers. So you shouldn't run out at any time soon. And if you need any more, we have them available on our website.
Okay.
So yeah.
So one other question we had was sessions on view, and one of the things that people were kind of asking is the ability to change either the session name once you've created it, somehow edit that, or a lot of people want the ability to have more than one club in a session. You start off, you have to pick the club like driver, but people would like to be able to have the ability to have multiple clubs all within that one session and be able to switch back and forth between clubs, so that way when they're looking at their data later, they're not having to click through multiple sessions to see it. But is that something that maybe down the road we could see as maybe an update if enough people were to be interested in that?
Sure. I mean, that's definitely a consideration of ours. It'd be something that we would add to the product pipeline.
Yeah.
No, without a doubt. Especially if we see multiple users coming to us with that issue.
Yeah.
As since we launched in 2019, we've been just doing updates to QED and IXO, on the regular, at least, every month and a half. So we're very open to market feedback. That's one of our driving initiatives and forces behind Uneekor and gaining market share. Okay. So yeah, keep the feedback coming. We love that. We meet globally, together with our global team every week to kind of go over any technical issues or any feedback that we're seeing from the market. So it's a constant, the line of communication is always open. So keep that in mind.
What's the best way for an average consumer to provide feedback to you guys at Uneekor?
You can reach out to support@uneekor.com. That's probably the best way from a technical perspective.
Okay.
That's the easiest way. I mean, you can email me myself, but that probably you'd want to siphon it through the right channels.
Yeah.
And there are cross-functional teams that are always talking to each other, so we're all on the same page.
Gotcha. All right. So we've had some, at least on my system as well, and I've had this from a couple other people, some flickering with the Unicore cameras when they come to certain projectors, specifically laser or DLP, I believe. I have it on mine. Some of the people on the channel have seen that on replay. Where are we at with trying to get some of that addressed, or what are our options for maybe looking into that into the future? And I know that's more of a projector thing sometimes than it is your camera thing, but definitely something that a lot of people would like to kind of know, or how to prevent it if they're going to buy, say, a certain projector, what they should look for as well.
Yeah, I mean, to cut the fat, here it is. We've done a bunch of testing, and right now DLP projectors cause the flickering effects with the swing optics cameras. After further testing, we've definitely uncovered that, and especially doing market research and seeing what users' issues are. We've seen that, again, DLP are the projectors that are causing issues. LCD projectors are recommended to avoid this.
Okay.
And then I know there's a certain issue with frame rate. If you potentially change the frame rate, it kind of lowers that flickering effect. Mm-hmm. But we try to deflect that. We don't allow users to change that frames per second from 160 just because we want to optimize the frame rate. And
Right.
it was built for certain specifics and to be a high level tool, and where there's not going to be any shaft blur. But if you start messing with those frames per second, you lose the quality of the image.
Got it. Got it.
So
Um,
stay away from those DLPs. We will continue to do other testing, but that's the short term solution
yeah.
for right now.
And I've actually had some projector companies reach out to me as well, trying to figure out how they can improve. BenQ is one of them. How they can improve on their side to try to eliminate that on their side as well. So, and I think it's more of a projector thing than anything else, because even when I film on our channel, I have a Sony A7 III, which is a high-end camera. I have to lower my FPS as well and different things in order for it to avoid having some of that going on. So I don't think it's just a Unicore camera problem for it by any means. It's more of what the camera picks up from the projector necessarily, more than anything.
Correct.
So just as a
Definitely.
yeah. Okay. I did have a question yesterday that I thought I'd bring to you as well, and I don't know the answer to it, so I thought I'd bring it up. If somebody wanted to buy your Unicore cameras and use it with, let's just say, another launch monitor, for example, is that a possibility, like through another swing system program, if they don't have a Unicore, for example, but they wanted to buy your Unicore cameras? You know,
I don't believe, there's always, somebody can always find a way to make it work.
yeah,
I don't think, on a mass scale that it will. There's certain software drivers that the cameras come with
yeah.
in order to communicate with the hardware. So I don't believe so. I don't necessarily suggest anyone go out and, purchase our cameras just on a whim.
Yeah.
They aren't,
I figured
they're
you would need a
affordable for
Unicore
sure, but
software, right, to make it work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the only way you're
definitely.
going to be able to get Unicore software is if you purchase a Unicore system.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay,
So
perfect.
it's just a communication issue
Yeah.
between the systems.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of clear that up as well. All right, some questions on your sim software. The sim software that comes with your unit. You guys have any plans on maybe doing an update on that or integrating your own sim software moving forward? I know you partner with outside programs such as E6 Connect, the Golf Club, but you also have your own incorporated program, mainly based on Korean courses and things that really, obviously have been the same since you guys have started here in the United States. Any plans to do an update on your sim software or create something in the future?
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. That goes again back to the, being a technology company.
Yeah.
We're always looking to improve and evolve.
Yeah.
So, I can tell you that there are initiatives right now for us to add to our course library to make it more attractive for North American golfers. Right now, as you mentioned, the 20 golf courses, if you were to purchase the Succeed, they're all Seoul, South Korean golf courses. If I didn't tell you that, you might not know that, because some of them are actually pretty vibrant. Some on the ocean,
Right.
weaved through trees. You wouldn't know the difference, but we are working on, again, expanding that course library, working with some of the bigger names in the golf, the private world, and the public golf course world as well. So
Okay.
that's coming. We are building new modes and adding to existing modes within the software to, again, make it a little bit more appealing when it comes to an entertainment and a training purposes.
Yeah, the mini games, all that stuff are always cool. It keeps it fresh, keeps it entertaining, family friendly, stuff like that people are looking for too. So
Definitely.
yeah.
It drives business too. We get a lot of questions about multi-sport. I can tell you right now, we're not necessarily moving into any multi-sport as of now, but to kind of keep it, interesting for the youth of America and Canada. We're trying to add some more entertainment features to kind of keep everybody involved, because if dad's hitting golf balls and then junior wants to hit some, they might want to keep it fun and kind of keep them entertained. So we're trying to always expand on that. So
Okay.
definitely keep that in mind.
Okay, perfect. We'll look out for that in the future. All right, so I've heard some rumblings on this as well, so I thought I'd bring it up with you. Is there any potential for you guys creating your own possible portable launch monitor in the future? Something that someone could take outdoors or have a little bit more mobile versus having to mount it on the ceiling?
Yeah. So we understand the need for that for sure. And some of our main competitors have their own portable devices as well and do very well with them. So we understand that what the market needs. I can't tell you exactly where the roadmap stands with releasing a product like that,
Yeah.
but it is definitely high priority for us.
Okay.
We want to make sure that when we do release it, it's tested and it's bulletproof at that point, because we don't want to release a product that has a lot of holes in it, and then it's back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
So we are taking our time and getting feedback on what we currently offer and how the technologies differ and what we'll need to do in order to make portable technology. Our current overheads are infrared based, so the only issue we're having right now is how the infrared works with sunlight. So that's kind of the major the roadblock right now during testing to determine how that's going to work in an outdoor setting.
That's really important because there's some units out there that don't work very well outdoors, so that kind of eliminates the whole purpose, of that. So yeah, that would definitely be one, because if you're going to have a portable, I'm assuming you want the ability to take it outside. Otherwise, you're much better off, I feel, with getting like a QED, because you set it and you forget it. You don't have to worry about it being on the floor or moving it, or anything like that. So
yeah, we get a lot of that, a lot of questions, from on a sales perspective of, should I go with a portable high-end unit? I mean, the biggest thing I say, I mean, they're good systems for sure. But the first thing I ask, if you're going to pay all that money, are you going to take it outdoors? And are you going to have it on your local range? Is this something you're going to want to lug around? So that's definitely a big deciding factor.
Do you want to take it out there and be shanking golf balls and have everyone look at you with your $10,000 launch monitor, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. All right, so we'll keep an eye on, see how that progresses in the future as well. And you answered this partly already, but Unicore, is there a way for them to maybe come up with a concept to create their own? And I know this isn't easy to do for golf balls, but for the QED system, their own stickers or a way to modify if somebody wanted to use a different golf ball. I know we talked about that briefly, but that was a question that we've had from some users as well.
Yeah, there are initiatives being worked on right now, I can tell you that. I don't know exactly when that solution will be available to the public, but it's definitely being worked on by us. What I can tell you is they'll be marked golf balls. They'll be a little bit more premium kind of tour ball that we are working on. There is the technology between IXO and QED is a little different, so there are limitations for what QED can actually do from an engineering and technology perspective. So there will always be that difference in product, but whatever we can do to optimize the experience with QED, we're going to try to do. And we do get a lot of questions like, hey, are you looking to phase out QED over time? Right now, that is not an option for us at all. I mean, the price point, the value perspective of it, the user experience, and the reaction time of QED is, I think, probably the best in the business for where it stands and within the market. So it's not going anywhere. We're always looking to improve it. So keep an eye on any updates from that. We are kind of rolling and moving some red tape around to kind of get those available to the market.
It's absolutely phenomenal product, and it's one of these things that if you don't care too much about what type of golf ball you're necessarily hitting, which to me, as an average golfer, it's going to make some difference using a higher end golf ball, but if I'm not able to correctly, like you said, compress that golf ball anyways with my shots, is it worth me spending an extra, say, $4,000 or $5,000 on something? There's a lot of questions that we get, and I get a lot of people that they'll write us or I'll talk to them on the phone, and I kind of weigh the pros and cons to both. And a lot of them are going with the QED still. So I still think it's a phenomenal product, and I think it's one that's going to continue to be a good seller for you guys in the future, just because some of these high-end features on the IXO are really, really good, and you're going to get a lot of people who want those. But you also just want people that just want to go in there and enjoy a game of golf with some buddies and just have a good time. And the QED does that and a whole lot more for sure. So I definitely agree with that. There's room in the market for both products for sure. So.
Definitely. Just to add on to that quickly, we're moving much more into the commercial space right now as well, and we get a lot of folks reaching out saying, "Hey, I'm looking to install 5 of your systems. What do you suggest. Now, as a salesperson, I'm always trying to upsell them on the IXO.
Right.
And the IXO has obviously its features. But if the users are looking to come in there and it's like a bar restaurant, just to have a couple of drinks and play 18 holes in an hour and a half, 2 hours, and they want a good experience. Again, reaction time of the golf ball and the ball spin at 3,200 frames per second. It's a no-brainer for them,
Yeah.
and especially on a return on investment for a commercial location, QED is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
It has very little limitations when it comes to user experience and high level entertainment.
Yeah, and I've helped 2 or 3 people set up their own indoor golf simulator facilities, and I found that they'll get maybe one IXO that they use as a teaching bay or something, and then the rest are QEDs because those function perfect for that kind of setup. So if anyone out there is looking for something like that, QED is definitely a really good product for that as well.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
you said it perfectly. Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, let's move on to the next one then. One of the things that we want to know is kind of, and Facebook users want to know, if they were to buy a Unicore product from you guys, whether it be QED or IXO, what kind of customer support should they expect? Let's say when they get the product from you guys back, they've ordered it, they receive it, and they need help, say, setting it up, or if they have an issue with it down the road, what would they have to do? What would they expect as far as support process from Unicore in that situation?
Perfect. Good question. As most people know that have the system, they can attest to the fact that our customer service, tech support have been exceptional to work with. That's essentially how, in addition to the accuracy and the value of the systems that we offer, we try to go above and beyond when it comes to customer service and tech support. You can reach out to the team when you're getting your initial software installation key code for the software to do the installation. I would suggest reaching out to the tech team to do any kind of calibration or installation of the software. They can remote team view in with you. All you would need to do is just set up a half hour, 45-minute calendar invite with those guys. They're very open. Answering the phone, they're there to answer. If you don't get them, leave a message. They'll be happy to reach back out to you. But again, this is a huge pain point for us. It's gone a long way for our products. If you do your research on any of the golf forums or Facebook forums, when it comes to tech support and customer service for Unicore, you'll see that it's, again, an exceptional process. So any issues, I mean, it is technology, so there are bugs. There's always going to be bugs with technology. Nothing is, again, bulletproof. So feel free to reach out to support@unicore.com, and we'd be happy to kind of troubleshoot any issues for you. Or, if there's an issue with the product, we have our 1-year warranty. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. We have extended warranties. So always looking to be flexible and help out and grow our user base.
Okay, good. And I know I've taken full advantage of customer support, and tech support, because even though I'm a tech person, there were still things that I needed some help with setup and going online on TeamViewer and having them access my computer and help me calibrate the unit and all that. And on some of our videos, you can see that as well. That's a really, really cool process that you guys are able to do, and even be able to remotely help people that way that aren't so tech savvy. So that's definitely been a great experience for me, as a Unicore user and owner now. So definitely something I can vouch for on my side as well.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
You mentioned this briefly, but I had a question from a user on any more challenge modes or mini games in the works for, say, Refine or for any of your software programs. And I know we talked to you guys are working on some of that, as far as maybe adding some more features for people that they can use. What about something like even like a combine, like a mini combine, or practice randomizer feature or something like that to keep things just kind of interesting if somebody just wants to jump on really quick and have some things that that they can do to work on every club in their bag, where they're not having to go and set distances or stuff. That would be kind of a cool feature as well. Anything like that maybe in the works, or that you guys have talked about?
Definitely. We work with former Ryder Cup captain that has actually suggested that to us. So we are working, through that to that combine kind of approach, to kind of you're always looking to benchmark your game against yourself, but
Right.
also, other players. I don't care what level you're at. And you want to have that data, especially with the cloud storage that we offer. You want to see that data over time.
Yeah.
And that combine feature is definitely something that we'll be working on with our internal software developers to release. I don't have a timeline on that, but it's definitely in the works.
Yeah, and one thing I'd love to see personally, just because I like the feature, is a driving range with a green that you can set the distance. So you can go on there and adjust it to say I want everything to be 90 yards, and then hit the shots and try to get a hole in one, from that distance or whatever. Something that would be a little bit more manipulative that you can control and adjust from there. I know your driving range has multiple like greens and different features on it. I had a question from someone: is there a way to aim directly at a certain spot, or is just wherever you hit it onto the screen is where the ball goes?
Yeah, right now it's just essentially where you're aimed.
Yeah, where you're aimed.
Yeah, right now I understand that your point for sure, just because you always want to recalibrate that 0 point. If you're aiming left at a certain target or right, you want your club path to be the zero degrees down the middle. So definitely from a player's perspective, that's a hot point for myself and something that we have in the product pipeline. I do want to take a step back to kind of mention what you did. We do have the ability in our refine and succeed driving ranges to there's an approach range in there that you can set distances up until I believe 150 or 160 yards. So if you're looking to just hit that shot, from 140 yards to a green, you can do that in there. If you have any questions about how to access that, please feel free to reach out to us. Well, that's a simple fix.
That's on the simulator side of things, right? On a course.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on the actual range. So if you go to any of if you go to the lake range, the mountain range, or the driving complex range, you have that ability to set certain distances.
Oh, cool.
It's called the approach range.
Approach range. Okay.
And then, as you mentioned, you can do on-course practice. So, for instance, I have a hard time hitting a draw from 180 yards to a back left pin. You can sit on the golf course if you'd like, pick a hole, pick a distance, pick certain course conditions, and just hit that shot all day long until you're comfortable and you're seeing results. Yeah. So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've done before, because I like the ability to say I want to hit several shots from 150, pick the club that I want to use and just kind of target in on that a little bit, based upon what I would see on my normal golf course for different shots. So I like that feature, but I actually, even using it several times, I wasn't aware of that. I'm going to look into that approach thing and check it out a little bit more as well. So you learn something new every day. That's what I'm saying. So
exactly.
All right. So one last question I had from a viewer, and I know that you guys just addressed this in your view update for IXO, is the ability to offset Unicore for tight spaces. So in other words, if someone has only 10-foot width and they're all the way up against the wall, they're not directly in the center of their screen. With view, and if you watch our video, you can actually hit, I think, control and left or right on the view main screen, and it will actually adjust that angle, the way it looks. And so when you hit the ball, it's going directly from wherever you're lined up with your golf ball in your simulator screen. So you guys handled that already. But also, if I'm aware, you guys have the ability to do that as well on the Refine and Succeed programs. You've already had that feature, right? Somewhere through the menu system?
Yeah, so with Refine and Succeed, that offset function has been there. So you can shift the ball inside the software so it lines up with the ball in your hitting mat. I mean, personally, that is one of my biggest pet peeves with simulation golf in general.
Yeah.
I love to make sure that where I hit the ball is going to project right on the screen of where I hit it. I don't care if it's going to go left or right, which is always that's an issue in its own. But for a lining up purposes, we do have that. And view, we just released that feature, I believe, in the last week and a half. So as you mentioned, you can use that control feature and adjust the. It's essentially your target line, so it lines up to exactly where you are set up.
Yeah.
So
in
it
the
makes
video,
it kind of
Yeah, in the video I did it so where you hit, your tracer line comes right from that spot. So it's pretty cool.
Right.
And you can line it
Yeah.
up very closely to where you're at in your golf mat, your hitting mat, and everything as well. And then on refine and succeed, that's in the menu system. You just hit menu, and there's an option in there for adjust the way to do that, the offset.
Yeah, I believe that's in the admin mode.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Within Refine or Succeed.
All right, so that's good. So pretty much, I mean, we had a bunch of questions on here, but a lot of them were that features for view that a lot of people were wanting to see, and you guys pretty much handled that before we can get to them. So, like I said, you guys have always been really good about doing updates and doing the things that people are asking for. So if you guys at home are watching and there's a certain feature that you want, make sure to reach out to Unicore and address it. You know, again, if they get enough feedback, and that's really important, then we could always obviously relay that to Unicore. If you want to reach out to us or you want to reach out directly to Unicore, make sure that you address questions that you have. They're really good about answering some of those things and getting back to you. And if they get enough feedback, they've been really good about taking care of some of these things that people are asking for, as you see from the most recent view update as well that we've had. So, Matt, I appreciate the time today, man. Anything else that we didn't share that you want to cover?
No, I mean, we're always looking for feedback, so keep it coming. As constructive as possible. We'll try as much as we can. Obviously, working with a decent sized team, but we are limited on some resources at times. So be patient with us, and you have in the past. And again, thank you to you and your channel and all the viewers and subscribers. You've done some great work, and the content that you're putting forward is very captivating. So I appreciate the partnership. I'd love to do this again. We have a few more things that we're going to roll out. So yeah, keep us in mind, and thanks again.
We'll set this up anytime. Anytime we get some things we want to talk about, we'll address it. And if you guys at home have any questions, reach out to me anytime at roland@mygaragegolf.com. Matt, really appreciate the time today. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to talking to you down the road.
You got it. Thanks, Roland. Appreciate it. Take care.
All right, so really, really cool interview with Uneekor, and I want to thank Matt again for his time today and answering the questions. Again, we've had a really, really good partnership with Uneekor throughout the years, and I'm looking forward to continuing that partnership here in the future. Let me know what you guys think of these interviews. I really enjoy doing them. I do see, again, I kind of feel like this is maybe geared towards more of a podcast setup or something. Would you like to see Garage Golf do a podcast? Would it be something that you guys would watch if we did similar type of these things on a podcast on a weekly basis with different companies, getting questions answered, things like that? I'd like to know your feedback on that. So please let me know when you get an opportunity if you're watching this video. If you guys have any questions on anything Uneekor related, whether it be QED or IXO or anything as far as our experiences with Uneekor, please reach out to me anytime at roland@mygaragegolf.com. I want to be your point of contact for any questions that you guys have, whether you guys go through me to get something that you're purchasing or whether you bought it somewhere else. Of course, I'd love the opportunity to help you if you guys have any simulator needs. That's first and foremost. This is how we keep the channel going, of course. But I'm not the type of person that if you guys bought it somewhere else, that I'm not going to answer your questions. I'm here to answer anyone's questions. That's why I started this channel. So if you guys have questions, reach out to me, send me an email, and normally I'll either email you right back, or sometimes we'll just set up a phone call. I like communicating with you guys at home as well. And once I get an email from you, we'll exchange numbers. I'll be more than happy to call you guys and talk to you about any questions that you have. That's just something that I enjoy doing. I'm going to continue to do. So I hope you guys enjoy the channel. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up here in the future. So please let us know if there's anything we can do for you guys at home. Until next time, as always, keep on golfing. Thanks again.